What is up, Scar Knight, bringing you V.U.R number 10. In this V.U.R, this is going to be the nominees of Pokemon Crystal for their awards show. I almost forgot about it, I'll be honest with you, but I didn't totally, just let it pass me, but I realized it like as soon as I posted the last V.U.R. Because I know that I said the very next video is going to be the top 10s, but either way, I have to still set it up to what I think deserves their placement. But either way, nominees of Pokemon Crystal, here we go. So the first award is going to be Best Team Member. Now, for all the team members that I had, including the one that I put it away, just remember these are spoiler alerts just in case you have not seen my Let's Play Pokemon Crystal. So here we go. My first Pokemon, Typhlosion, otherwise known as Akuma. Typhlosion was an excellent Pokemon, never failed me once. It's been through me since the very beginning, thick and thin, all the way to the end, and very excellent Pokemon. The next Pokemon is Poliwrath, known as Necro. I feel like it's an underused Pokemon in the Pokemon series, and I feel like I done a great job showing it off, showing it what it got, and I actually got through to some people that they want to use it now. Poliwrath's an excellent Pokemon, water fighting type. I love Poliwrath, that's why I chose it. Alright, next one is Blanca, otherwise known as Raikou. I know I had a Pikachu before in Pokemon Yellow, but Raikou is another excellent Pokemon. I was very surprised when it hatched out of the Pokemon egg, out of the odd egg, which could hatch either a Tyrogue, a Magby, Smoochum, a Lekid, Pichu, which I got, Igglybuff, and Cleffa. And I got myself a Pichu, obviously. So, Raikou, really fast Pokemon. I actually beat his previous stage that was like 30 levels higher than it, and it still destroyed him. Well, then technically I got lucky, but either way, you know what I'm talking about. She's a very awesome Pokemon. For some reason my whole team was like, I think 2 guys and 4 girls, which never happens to me ever. Usually it's the whole team male. Not that I was trying to make it that way, but it turned out, I don't know, I kind of liked it this way, really. But either way, besides the point, the next Pokemon is Sudoku, otherwise known as Domson. Sudoku was the blocking Pokemon, blocking from the path to Ecruteak, or if you were in the beginning of the game, also blocking Goldenrod City, or if you were on the other side of that, blocking Violet City. Sudoku is an excellent Pokemon, rock type, handles well for all his weaknesses for some reason, because if you look through my Let's Play, you'll know that for some reason I always make Sudoku go up against what it's weak to, and it always wins throughout that match, which is weird, and which is awesome, by the way. Yeah, pretty much it about Sudoku. Next Pokemon, Umbreon, otherwise known as Ibuki. Even though I named it further on in the Let's Play because I couldn't come up with the nickname. There were some I was debating, like Oni and Goken. I was leaning more towards Goken, to be honest with you. But Ibuki works. I mean, it's a girl Pokemon, or it's a female, and I decided to name it that. And yeah, Dark type, also destroyed his counterpart rival, which is awesome. Umbreon's one of my favorite evolutions, and here's hoping that if whatever you guys vote for around this, because there's 2 more Pokemon left, so I shouldn't get too ahead of myself. Lapras is the next Pokemon, otherwise known as Chun-Li. Chun-Li, water ice type. Even though I spelled it wrong, it's fine, even though it's spelled with Chunli instead of Lee. I mean, it's an honest mistake, really. I got Chun-Li because you need a surfing Pokemon to get Chun-Li in the first place, which is you find them every Friday in the Union Cave. I always wanted to start off with Poliwrath and to get myself Lapras and eventually, because in the long run it'll be easier for me to get an Ice type. Even though technically I could teach Poliwrath Ice Punch, but I'd rather have the stat bonus to make it, definite. So, Lapras. And there's other Pokemon games that offers Lapras for free pretty much. Just like Red, Blue, and Yellow, where they give it to Silphco, and I heard that Pokemon X and Y also gives the Lapras. I think so, but only for surfing purposes for some reason. They should have gave Lapras a Mega Evolution, but that's besides the point. Anyway, the last Pokemon of my Pokemon team is Dragonite. Even though I evolved it late, or by the way, the nickname is Sagat. But like I was saying, even though I evolved it late, it's very... I feel like I wish... Okay, I'll be honest with you, like in the end of the episode, or finale part 3, at the beginning of the episode I should say, I literally thought it evolved at level 50, but then I got back into consciousness and realized, or back from zoning out that is, and realized that it evolves at level 55, and I was only one rare candy away, so I decided to grind a little bit while on my way. That's how I always was playing Pokemon games. I would just go to where I wanted to go for my next goal, and just everything that just appears to me, I'll just kill it. Isn't that the Mega Man rule or something? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, it evolved late, but if you're still a Dragonite fan and you feel like it did a good job towards the end of the game, because I got it around episode 56, I think, or 60 or so, around those 50 or 60, because I did had it for like 30 episodes plus, so it wasn't a total mistake. I usually try not to get Pokemon at the end of the game. But who knows, maybe in the future I'll get another Pokemon that'll be even more towards the end. But besides the point, those are all the Pokemon for the team members. Vote in the comments what you guys prefer, whether it's Typhlosion, Poliwrath, Blanca, Sudoku, Lapras, Umbreon, or Dragonite. Vote in the comments of what you believe is my best team member. It could be for whatever reason, maybe because just plain you just like them or love them or whatever. Or that you think that they die less, or that you think they killed more Pokemon, or by kill I mean faint. Whatever the reason is, put it in the comments. Anyway, the next award is Best Gym Leader. Now, I'm not going to count the Kanto gym leaders just because they already had their goals met, and I already did the awards basically for them, so adding them would just not be fair, really. Like, what if you guys vote for, like, Gym Leader Blue? That wouldn't be fair, right? Anyway, I'm just gonna do the first 8 gym leaders of Johto Oli, and you guys hopefully will understand. I mean, this only seems fair to me. Okay, so, first gym leader, Faulkner. It's pretty edgy saying that, but whatever. Faulkner, the flying type gym leader, has a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto. Flying type gym leader, like I said, I think I said at least. Either way, in the anime, he has stronger Pokemon. He has a Pidgeot and a Dodrio and stuff. I think he has a Noctowl too. It's kind of weird that he could have had better flying type Pokemon, but it's understandable, even though it is a cheating Pidgeotto that he has, because they don't evolve to level 18, and he has like a level 10 one. Game Shark much, I don't know. Anyway, second gym leader, Bugsy. A lot of people confuse it whether it's a guy or a girl. Personally, I didn't care. I think it was a guy in the beginning, even though it does look feminine. Don't get me wrong there. But it has a Kakuna and a Metapod and a Scyther. And this was done on purpose because they wanted to have a fighting Metapod and a fighting Kakuna in the team. And a Scyther, they could have easily gone with Scizor, but they don't want you to lean towards Fire type all the time. They try to even it out. If you notice in the anime that they want you to choose different Pokemon, like, oh, Ash chose Oshawott, I want an Oshawott too, that type of stuff. So I guess it's understandable why Scizor isn't it, because then we would have got owned pretty much. But speaking of ownage, there's the third gym leader, Whitney. Whitney that has a Clefairy and a Miltank, and this Miltank drove me insane when I was younger in my childhood. I really could not stand this thing. Miltank was just a tank with the mill. I don't know. She was very, I don't know, I feel like she cheated when back then is. If you asked me back then when I was a kid, I would have been like, you know what, F that girl, I do not like her, I can't stand her. But other than that, even though she is one of the more dangerous gym leaders, there's also another dangerous gym leader that you might lose pretty often as well. It depends what Pokemon you have, really. And that gym leader is the fourth gym leader, is from Ecruteak City. It is Morty, the Mystic Seer. So he has, I believe, what was it, a Ghastly, 2 Hunters, and a Gengar, I think. Gengar is the most dangerous one. See, this is what I'm talking about the traded Pokemon being the top Pokemon, that is. Like, Scizor is understandable, but he has a Gengar, so it makes it very, very dangerous. And I wish that instead of a second Hunter, he would have at least a Misdreavus, because she has no love. She only has it like towards the end of the game in Mount Silver. Like, that's it. I mean, in the future games, Misdreavus gets more love by getting an evolution and stuff, but that's besides the point. Either way, Morty's very dangerous nonetheless, and that's pretty much it. And now for the fifth gym leader, Chuck, the fighting type gym leader that has a Primeape and a Poliwrath. Now, every time I battle Chuck, I usually don't have a Pokemon that could easily beat him, because I usually have a Togepi and I try to evolve him into a Togetic, and it's not at that point yet. And other flying type Pokemon I don't normally get. It's not that I don't like flying type Pokemon, it's just that I try to break the habit of like trying to get the same Pokemon that Ash had. Either that or I get a Spearow and evolve it to a Fearow, but I'm fine without it, really. But by then, most of my Pokemon are weak to fighting type, just like as you saw in my team. It just happened to be that way, where I have an Eevee, weak to fighting, Pikachu at that point was fragile, Typhlosion's weak, or I think I had a Quilava at that point, was weak to Poliwrath since it was a water type. Sudoku as well, since it was weak to water and fighting. And I only have like 2 Pokemon that isn't weak towards it, or actually just the one. But then again, I did have the Togepi that I was talking about, so I only have literally 1 Pokemon that has no weakness towards it. But every time I battle Chuck, it's a very good battle, and it's really awesome. So yeah. Other than that, the 6th gym leader, Jasmine. Sorry. You could immediately battle her right after Chuck, but I took my time by doing the all world tour, by surfing around the world and stuff like that, because I noticed that a lot of Let's Players, they would do it as soon as they get surfed, they would go around the world. But I feel like this is a good point to do it in the Let's Play, is between the 5th and 6th gym leader, because you, like, literally you could just go straight to it and that's it. And you could just go back, get the secret potion done, boom boom. But instead I decided to put that in between there, because it would cost a little bit of a couple episodes. So I felt like it was right, and I'm glad I made that move. But other than that, Jasmine as the gym leader has, I think, either 2 or 3 Magnemites, I forget, maybe 2 Magnemites, and a Steelix, which is another traded Pokemon that I noticed. Oh yeah, by the way, Chuck should have had him on top. I just feel like it's necessary. I feel like if you have new Pokemon of that type, then you should have it as in a gym battle. But besides the point, let me go back to Jasmine. Steel ground type. When I was a kid, I didn't get why fire type moves didn't do well against Steelix, but that's because he's part ground type and he has ground moves. So that's part of the reason. And ever since then, I noticed that steel types also do bad against water types. I don't know why that is. Water types do really good against steel type Pokemon. I don't know why, I just don't. Then again, water is resistant to steel, so I guess that's part of the reason. That makes sense, right? But yeah, water does excellent against steel types. Uh, Jasmine is a very special trainer, I feel, since she has a new type and stuff. And even that, I really like her return in future games. Like, it just feels like it's a special thing. Other than that, let's go to the 7th gym leader, which is Price, the ice type gym leader. With, I think, what did he have? I think he had a Seal, a Dugong, or did he have 2 Dugons? I forgot. But he does have a Piloswine, which is the ice ground type, which could really hurt it because water types are so common in this game. So common. There's so many good water types too, that you just have to, like, you'll be crazy not to catch a water type at that point of the game, unless you go like toward the right before you're fighting the 4th gym leader. But besides the point, ice is one of the more fragile types, so you could beat it with fighting, fire, rock. There's all these types that are very common, and well, kind of, I guess fighting isn't that common. But with the added thing about ground types, with the weakness of grass and water type, then there's 5 weaknesses altogether. And plus there's ice water types. He doesn't really fully have ice weaknesses. I don't mind that he doesn't have other new ice type Pokemon like Sneasel or Delibird, but he's still pretty dangerous, I guess. He has already strong ice moves. Blizzard, not Icy Wind. Icy Wind is the most garbage of ice moves you could have. But yeah, that's one of the stuff that he has. Anyway, the 8th gym leader is like the shadow of Lance, which is Claire, the blessed user of Dragon type Pokemon. So she has like 3 Dragonairs and a Kingdra. Kingdra, for one, is very dangerous. Water Dragon type, only the weakness of Dragon type. So no matter what you use, you won't have a Dragon type Pokemon at that point at all. I mean, you can't go into Dragon's Den, so it's very dangerous, and you have to know what you're doing. I don't remember how well I did in the 8th gym leader battle, to be honest, but I know that I did well in my silver version when I had all the grass team. But yeah, Claire's very dangerous. Is like the 3rd strongest gym leader in my opinion at that point of the game, because the 3rd gym leader is the strongest at that point when you're there. That's if that makes sense. But out of all the 8 gym leaders, vote for which one is your favorite or what you feel is the strongest. It doesn't have to always be by level. It could be like, oh, when you go to the gym, you're not even level 15 and you have to go against Whitney, or you don't have certain Pokemon to take out Kingdra of Claire's Pokemon. Any reason, put it in the comments of who you think is gonna be the best gym leader. Other than that, there is another award. There's 2 more awards, but I don't have that much time because I didn't stretch the time limit for some reason. But either way, there's 4 Elite 4 members, so I shouldn't say that at first. Okay, the next award is Best Elite 4 Member. So the first Elite 4 member is Will, the Psychic type Pokemon. Now Will has like 2 Zatus, an Executor, a Jinx, and a Slowbro. He can be dangerous. I mean, if you're not in the correct level, he's just gonna Psychic you each turn, so that can make him very dangerous. The next Elite 4 member is gonna be Coca. Coca used to be the 5th gym leader of Red, Blue, and Yellow, and then he got promoted, majorly promoted, into becoming one of the Elite 4 members. I don't know why they did this, but they did. He has a Crobat, a Monk, Ariados, Fortress, Venomoth. Poison type Pokemon, he tends to do Toxic. Fortress could be a problem if you don't have a Fire type Pokemon, but the chances are you probably do have a Fire type Pokemon. Other than that, then he's gonna be very strategic. You're gonna see Mug use, minimize a lot, and all these techniques that he's gonna do to you. He can be very easy with the Fire type Pokemon though. Anyway, the next Elite 4 member is Bruno. Bruno makes a return from Red, Blue, and Yellow as the Elite 4 member into the 3rd spot now. and he has fighting type Pokemon. He has a Hitmontop, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and two. Or no, he has one Onix and a Machamp. I almost said two Onyxes. That was red, blue, and yellow. But Hitmontop has the move Dig, and he has a lot. He has Detect, and Hitmonchan won't be the dangerous thing because he has special moves and he's a physical Pokemon. Hitmonlee can be dangerous with this high jump kick. Other than that, Onix, he's not that dangerous. He has Sandstorm, and you could probably easily take him out with the Grass or Water type move. Machamp is very, very dangerous. However, he has the moves Cross Chop. It's a very devastating move. If you have a flying type Pokemon against him, he's going to use Rock Slide, and yeah, he can be very devastating. So don't underestimate Bruno. All right, the next and final Elite Four member, because I'm not counting the champion. It is Karen, the Dark type user. So I feel like Dark type should have been more of a gym leader thing than a final thing, but it's still fine. It's perfectly fine. Not all our Pokemon are Dark type. However, there's Gengar, and then there's Vileplume, and then the other three Pokemon are Dark type, like Houndoom and Murkrow and Umbreon. Gengar, I feel, is the most dangerous one because it has Destiny Bond, and I, in the past, have died to Destiny Bond when I tried killing the Gengar, and then I did tie, but a tie in Pokemon means you lost, pretty much. It doesn't mean you win, so you lost. Houndoom can be very dangerous, Vileplume could be very stubborn, Murkrow isn't a problem, and Umbreon's very tanky. Pretty much that's the run-in-the-mill of the Elite Four. So vote for your favorite Elite Four member or your strongest one that you feel, and there's one more not Elite Four, jeez. There's one more nomination or one more award to give, and that is the best legendary Pokemon. So the best legendary Pokemon contain the three roaming Pokemon. One of them is Raikou, the Thunder type Pokemon that looks like a tiger to me, but he's more like a bulldog since they're legendary dogs, but we just call him legendary beasts at this point. When I try to catch him, he was very annoying, pretty much. I can't really say that he's one of the best Thunder types out there. He has the move Sparks, and he learns better moves moving onwards and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Raikou. Okay, so the next Pokemon is Entei. Entei is the fire lion-esque thing. It looks like another bulldog if you look at it from a dog standpoint. But Entei, he is very strong indeed and stuff. He does contain special fire moves, and he is a very bulky Pokemon for one, and also a very annoying Pokemon to catch. I really can't come up with anything to say enough good about it. It's a very strong Pokemon indeed. As for the final roaming legendary beast or dog or whatever, is Suicune. Suicune and Pokemon Crystal is a stage match. Other than that, and Gold and Silver, he's roaming Pokemon. Very unique water type that learns also flying moves as well for one that isn't flying type, but that's because he is the West Wind, and he also learns ice moves along the way that can be very helpful if you're going to use a legendary Pokemon. I tend to avoid using legendary Pokemon in my team, but yeah, you could use Suicune as much as you like, but I wouldn't recommend it in a Let's Play, just saying. Other than that, there's three other legendary Pokemon. One is Lugia, the Beast of the Sea, which is, I think, a dragon. When I was a kid, if you would have asked me, I would not know at all. But it's a psychic flying type. That's another thing I didn't know. I thought it was like a water dragon type or a water flying type or something. I wasn't sure at all. So yeah, Lugia is kind of a bizarre psychic flying type. It learns water moves. It also does flying moves. It can learn psychic moves, but it's not right off the bat. And like I said, the flying move that he knows is Aero Blast, which is his signature move. and he's a very heavy, bulky Pokemon. And that's pretty much it for Lugia. The next Pokemon is Ho-Oh, the rainbow-colored bird Pokemon. So Lugia and Ho-Oh are like the two legendary bird Pokemon of this game, that is. Lugia, I don't know how the heck you would consider that a bird, but either way, Ho-Oh, fire flying type. I feel like Ho-Oh is better of the two between Ho-Oh and Lugia if you're gonna choose a voting thing, but it's not my job to persuade you what you should vote for. Ho-Oh, I feel like, I mean, he's holding the Sacred Ash, which I learned that you could only heal outside of battle, not in battle, which is messed up. I keep forgetting about that, because I have used Sacred Ash before. Besides the point, he has the move Sacred Fire, which if you're frozen, it automatically, you know, defrost you, which it should. It wouldn't make sense if it didn't. There's also special abilities due to Sacred Fire. I feel like it's one of the more awesome, unique type of fire type moves there is. In future games, Ho-Oh learns Brave Bird, and it's an excellent move for Ho-Oh. Other than that, that's it about Ho-Oh. One of my favorite legendary Pokemon, one of my first favorites of all time. And now for the final legendary Pokemon for me to explain, and then that'll be it for all the nominations. The last one is Celebi. Celebi is Grass Psychic type. It could only be found in a special event in Ilex Forest where you have to hold a GS ball and give it to Kurt in order to activate this event. And Celebi will be level 30 with certain moves. Celebi is more of a, it's just, I mean, here's the thing, there's like Pokemon that has the same stature of body just like Mew, where they're small and they're mostly just for cuteness and stuff like that. For some reason in a certain Pokédex type of book, they're more known as mythical Pokemon, not legendary Pokemon for whatever reason. So Ho-Oh and Lugia is legendary, and Pokemon like Jirachi and Celebi are known as mythical Pokemon. Other than that, yeah, Celebi is the time Pokemon. He could either go to the future or past, just like time Pokemon should. And pretty much about it. Celebi, very special Pokemon. I wish I could do the special event, so you know, I could show that off in video form and actually have that done. Other than that, that's all about all the nominations, all the awards. Vote for my best team member, the best gym leader, the best Elite Four member, and the best legendary Pokemon. And I will post that video up soon, I think. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start my 4th Let's Play in June 24th of 2014. I think I'm gonna post the next nominations, or it depends, depending on how much the comments goes. If it goes smoothly, maybe it will come a day sooner than my Let's Play, but that's not 100% certain. It just depends on you guys, really. Also, don't forget to vote for the top 10 of you guys' favorite 151 Pokemon of Generation 1. I'm not counting any other generations. Hopefully there's no confusion there. Other than that, white tigers and dragons to you.